Hello my sweet friends, welcome back to another video. It has been quite some time, so I am very excited to get back into it, especially because today we are just pulling out all the creativity, all of the fun, all of the imagination, and we are brainstorming my new book. Now don't worry, I know if you've been watching my videos for a little bit, I've been working on a different story. She is not gone, she's just sort of shelved, paused for a little bit, because I would just rather spend my time today creating, imagining, not necessarily using the analytical side. I'm not quite ready for that today. So we will get back to her soon, I promise. But today you're going to see a never before seen part of my writing process. One, because I've just never shared it, and two, because I'm still figuring out what I want that to be. So I'll explain the plan as we go, but we are doing a vlog on the go today. We have some fun stops ahead, and hopefully by the end of it, we have the foundation of a new story idea. Okay, I'm turning AC down for this, so we're gonna make this quick, but I'm at the library now. To be honest, I tried twice to film something in this setup. Once outside my apartment when I was still in the parking lot, and then I thought I could be one of those like YouTubers who, you know, like we're going through the drive-through thing, and I got super embarrassed both times. We are here, there's no one around me, there's no one in that car there, I checked. But I wanted to give an update. We're here. I got my coffee because, as I was trying to explain the first time I tried doing this, a fun beverage like this is definitely part of my process. Now, I am not saying that you go buy a fun beverage every time. I budgeted for this. This is fun. This is a treat. Trust me, if you, like, the longer you watch these videos, the more I hope that you'll understand from me that we are low-key in this corner of the internet. We are honest. We read a couple of books a month. We do our best, we budget, we're realistic, basically, okay? Just wanted to let you know that. Just wanted to be transparent about that. So, on the way here, I also was listening to music. The story idea I'm playing around with right now came from listening to a single song, actually. It was a what-if situation that popped up in my head as I was listening to a song. So I've been listening to that song a lot lately, as well as a couple others that I feel like have that similar vibe. That's what I do on the drive, too. That's part of my process, is I will drive or I will walk with the music in my head with the music playing, so that I'm just letting ideas kind of flow. So I'll try to explain more. I have my headphones, I could probably talk a little bit in there, but the library's a library, so we're not going to be disruptive, and then we'll talk soon. But let's get in there and start brainstorming.
I see the crossroads coming up ahead, a choice I make, but haven't made yet. Why do pathways feel so threatening? What ifs are never ending? Caught in the shadow of what might be a future.
Hi friends, it's another day. It's honestly been a couple days since we've done this last. I actually had a raging allergy attack, like none that I've ever had before, and it kind of put me out for a few days. So we're back, we're better, and we're ready to keep brainstorming. So we're kind of doing a repeat of what you saw already in the vlog. We're gonna be in a coffee shop for a little bit. I have already basically done like a brain dump sort of outline of about 500 words the other day in the library. We figured out some character stuff. I think we have their names, with obviously the caveat with all of this is it could change at any point. But in there, I want to sort of start laying out the beats and see if I have any idea for the actual plot line. Maybe even, I was watching Sincerely V's. I love her channel so much, by the way, side note, she's one of my favorites. She, a couple of years ago when she was outlining the story that she is now trying to get published, she did the Enneagram test for her characters. And I thought that was kind of cool to see if their actual personality types match with the idea I have in my head. So we might do that, but we're gonna do our best to get ourselves to a place that we're prepared to maybe get a draft. I don't know, started when. This is very low stress, relaxed, but I'm excited to keep working on it. So let's keep going.
About the middle part, so I skip
So we have one more thing I want to do for brainstorming, and that is actually trying to piece some of the plot fragments and ideas I have in my head into the actual romancing the beat order, structure, however you want to say that. If you're unfamiliar with what I'm talking about, it comes from this book called Romancing the Beat by Gwen Hayes. It's sort of a guide for romance writers, how to pace their plot, the different beats, because if you don't know, romance is a interesting genre when it comes to plotting. Doesn't follow completely the normal 3-act structure like the Save the Cat Writes a Novel beats. In romance, it veers off that normal plot path that certain writers may understand. So all that to say is I used to try to plot with Save the Cat Writes a Novel, but since working kind of halfway through my romance book I'm writing right now, which you can see the note cards in the back, I actually ended up changing it to follow this book because it just made more sense and it clicked. And then I realized, oh, that's because I'm writing a romance, so it's gonna work better with this. So if you are interested in writing romance, highly recommend this, Romancing the Beat. I think it was literally $11 maybe on Amazon. Yeah, and I marked it up. So that's what we're gonna do today. We're gonna take this, I'm gonna show you the beat that I'm going to be basing it off of, sort of the bare bones. I won't be showing you the ideas because that needs to stay private in case this actually comes to fruition. Of course, you know, with understanding that a lot of stuff in draft 1 does not make it to the final product with what you guys would be seeing regardless. Let's finish this up, and then I feel like I'm in a really good place to leave this story idea for when it's time to draft. And no, I have no idea when that's going to be, but that's okay. When we are ready to draft, we will have plenty waiting for us and a strong foundation. So let's finish this up. Okay, so here's a little preview of what we're going to be looking at. She calls it the beat sheet, and you can see it starts here. So it's set up, and then those are the little smaller beats within that phase that you follow. Then it goes into phase 2, which is falling in love, retreating from love, fighting for love. So what I'm gonna do is kind of make a list following these titles, if you will, and see what I can fill in. There's absolutely no pressure to fill in every single one right now because I'm just, I'm still discovering the story, but I definitely have some ideas in my head, so I wanna get those down. Okay, so this is the rough draft beat sheet I have so far. I edited it a little bit with just the colors. I realized that these are just kind of like my go-to colors for each phase of the story. I had it the same for the book I'm working on right now. It's funny that it kind of popped up even like literally subconsciously for this one. So I laid out all of the points that it mentions in the book, and then what I'll go in and do is fill these in with it just kind of like a dash, and then my thoughts, probably like the main points, the main ideas, and other colored text just to kind of point out like I'm pretty confident this is where it's gonna go. I already feel like I've learned so much, and I'm feeling more confident this second time around because of just how much I've learned from writing the first romance novel that I'm working on. So I'm getting really excited about this new story because just of what I'm gonna be able to do differently this process. I mean, I feel like as writers, our writing process is constantly evolving as we evolve as writers in our craft, but there are certain things that you learn along the way that you like to do it a certain way. The process, even just like little day-to-day routines, that kind of stuff, I feel like I'm starting to discover more about myself, and that's just really cool to realize and to claim ownership of, yeah, this is the way that I like to do it. This is my process. So I really hope as I'm doing this that it is either inspiring you, giving you ideas. You can 100% copy any of the stuff that I do, but just find what works best for you and know that you are going to learn something every project you work on. So that's just even more reason to keep going, fight against those thoughts of doubt. We learn so much from failure and from trying, and so that's just something I really want to take home with me every time I start a new draft or I start a new project, is that like I'm learning, and that's okay and that's beautiful. So I just wanted to say that, and I'm feeling really good about this story, but we're not quite done yet with brainstorming, so let's keep going because I don't know about you, but I'm getting excited. In the eye of time, nobody's losing. Part of of my brainstorming process is also setting up so many lists and just places for all of my ideas to go throughout the process. So I'll set up something like this title ideas page, because even as I was outlining, I got an idea for a title, and so I want to write it down really quickly. And it's just really fun too to look back and just see what all of my ideas were throughout the process, and what at one point I thought was totally going to be this character's name or the name of the book or just like the setting, even those kind of things. And you realize that you even like, oh, I forgot that I ever wanted that to be part of the book.
But your face remained the same. The swallows will be here by the door.
Okay friends, I think that is it for this video. My brain is definitely on the paper and I'm feeling really good about this story. I have a lot of the first beat planned, at least enough, you know, these initial ideas. So I'm feeling really excited about it. But thank you so much for spending this part of your day with me. I had so much fun documenting this new part of the process. I hope that you learned something, you were inspired. Like I said, feel free to copy any part of this. If you got some story ideas while you were watching this as well, then I encourage you to go and chase those ideas, run with it, see if there's your next book in there. But until the next one, go read, go write, you've got this. Bye.